What's cooking, WWE Nation? This is Ringside Insider, bringing you fresh wrestling heat every day. Smash subscribe and let's jump right in. If you thought the tension between Jacob Fatu and Drew McIntyre had ended back in October after Fatu's sudden disappearance, tonight's SmackDown proved otherwise. After weeks of speculation and whispered hints, Fatu made a dramatic return, catching McIntyre off guard in a backstage confrontation that immediately shifted the narrative. Fans had been waiting to see if Fatu would ever come back, and WWE delivered a moment that was less about destruction and more about impact, intensity, and storytelling. This wasn't just a surprise. It was a narrative payoff years in the making, reminding audiences why long-term storytelling in wrestling can be so compelling. The buildup, October's setback. The feud initially promised a blockbuster showdown when Fatu and McIntyre were slated for a number 1 contender match for the United States Championship. That match never materialized, as Fatu was mysteriously written off television after an on-screen incident, which left fans debating what really happened. WWE explained that he had been ambushed, creating a storyline that kept audiences guessing about who was truly behind it. McIntyre maintained his innocence on commentary, but the angle gave him more screen time and added layers to his character as the plot unfolded. Meanwhile, fans theorized endlessly online, suggesting various possibilities, but WWE intentionally kept the mystery alive, building anticipation for Fatu's eventual return. McIntyre's position before the return. During Fatu's absence, McIntyre enjoyed a period of prominence, walking tall while the audience speculated about the mysterious attack. This period served as a narrative device, allowing the storyline to evolve without revealing the perpetrator immediately. McIntyre's involvement in other rivalries, including interactions with Cody Rhodes, added depth to the weekly shows, keeping viewers engaged and invested in multiple storylines. The tension was subtle yet effective, positioning McIntyre as both a protagonist and a potential suspect, depending on where the story went. The stage was perfectly set for a dramatic re-entry by Fatu. The return moment tonight. Fatu returned, and the energy backstage shifted instantly. As McIntyre moved through the corridors, perhaps expecting a routine segment, Fatu emerged, immediately creating a sense of urgency and intensity. The moment wasn't just about confrontation. It was about asserting presence, making it clear that Fatu was back in the story in a meaningful way. Instead of a slow or cautious comeback, WWE chose to have Fatu re-enter the scene with purpose, signaling that his character would play a central role in upcoming narratives. The scene effectively flipped the script, turning McIntyre from the confident figure into the one responding to the sudden challenge. The psychology of the feud. What makes this feud compelling isn't just physicality, it's the psychological layers behind it. By keeping Fatu off screen for months, WWE allowed fans to imagine the buildup and potential outcomes, creating investment in the storyline. McIntyre's role shifted from driver to responder, creating opportunities for his character to evolve. How he reacts next, whether with determination, strategy, or vulnerability, will define the trajectory of the feud. This type of long-term planning demonstrates the subtle art of wrestling storytelling, establishing anticipation, allowing character development, and then delivering a payoff that feels earned. Revisiting past encounters, Fatu and McIntyre aren't strangers in the ring. They've shared collisions in multi-man matches where both showcased strengths and competitive respect. building natural tension. Those encounters created a foundation for tonight's return, providing context to fans who have followed the storyline closely. By referencing past moments, WWE reminded viewers of the history and stakes between these two athletes, making the reunion feel meaningful rather than arbitrary. This layered approach rewards long-term fans while drawing in newer viewers through the intensity of the present confrontation. The significance of timing. Originally, reports suggested Fatu could be off television for an extended period, possibly into 2026. His sudden return now adds unpredictability, signaling WWE's confidence in his character and appeal. Instead of a gradual reintroduction, the company opted for a direct, impactful moment that immediately re-engages the audience. The timing suggests a major focus on this rivalry moving forward, likely building toward a marquee event such as the Royal Rumble or Elimination Chamber. This kind of storytelling shows that returns aren't just about spectacle. They're also about advancing narratives and setting up future opportunities for matches and character arcs. Fan reaction and social buzz. Social media reacted almost instantly, with fans praising the intensity of the encounter and the suddenness of Fatu's return. The segment created buzz and conversation, reinforcing the effectiveness of WWE's storytelling. Wrestlers' reactions backstage, combined with live audience engagement, helped sell the scene's significance, making it feel genuine and impactful. Fans were drawn not only to the spectacle, but also to the narrative implications, debating what would happen next and speculating on future developments. This reaction underscores the power of surprise and thoughtful booking in wrestling entertainment. Narrative implications. Tonight's segment shifts the dynamics between the two competitors. McIntyre, who had previously held the narrative advantage, now finds himself responding to Fatu's actions, creating opportunities for fresh character exploration. This pivot is essential for compelling storytelling, allowing McIntyre to grow as a character while keeping Fatu positioned as a force to be reckoned with. Future segments may explore McIntyre's strategy, emotional response, and potential alliances, which can expand the feud beyond a simple one-on-one rivalry. Potential story directions. Looking ahead, WWE has multiple paths to develop this feud. A one-on-one pay-per-view match could escalate the stakes, possibly with a special stipulation to emphasize the intensity of the rivalry. Alternatively, the storyline could branch into a multi-person feud involving allies or other SmackDown stars, which would add layers and keep the narrative engaging for weeks. The groundwork laid by this return allows WWE to explore different angles, from personal redemption arcs to championship aspirations, ensuring that both Fatu and McIntyre remain central figures on the show. Technical and visual execution. The segment was executed to maximize engagement without relying on excessive physical harm. Backstage environments offer unique storytelling opportunities, as the setting allows for dynamic interactions and creative use of space. Camera work, body language, and timing all contributed to creating tension and conveying the seriousness of Fatu's return. By balancing realism with narrative clarity, WWE provided a moment that felt impactful, exciting, and visually engaging, all while preserving the safety of performers. Conclusion. In summary, Jacob Fatu's return to SmackDown was a masterclass in long-term storytelling, character development, and audience engagement. WWE turned a months-long mystery into a compelling narrative pivot, positioning both Fatu and McIntyre for a meaningful rivalry heading into the new year. Fans can expect weeks of build-up, confrontations, and evolving character arcs that will keep audiences invested. With this return, the stage is set for dramatic developments, and the story promises to deliver both in-ring action and compelling narrative depth. The question now isn't whether Fatu has returned, it's how McIntyre will respond, and how WWE will continue to elevate this rivalry in the months to come.